The air is tense. The whispers grow louder. A single name keeps echoing across social media platforms, television screens, and hushed conversations in dimly lit cafes. Yu Menglong. A celebrated star, a beloved figure of drama and music, suddenly caught in a storm of suspicion. But here lies the most mind-bending part of it all. How do we truly know what happened? And more importantly, who gets to decide what's real when reality itself seems to twist and shimmer like smoke in the wind? The story begins not in the spotlight of a stage or the glow of a red carpet, but in the shadows of unanswered questions. Yu Menglong, known for his charming smile and soulful eyes, had always been the embodiment of calm charisma. Yet behind those serene looks lay a man whose life, it seems, was far more complicated than anyone could have guessed. Rumors burst forth like a storm breaking over a silent city. The word suspect attached itself to his name like an unshakable shadow. But suspect of what? The world wanted answers, and fast. On one hand, the loyal fans rose in defense. They painted him as an angel wronged, a victim of schemes and manipulations in the cruel entertainment industry. On the other hand, detractors sharpened their knives, eagerly weaving stories of scandal and betrayal. Between the clash of loyalty and doubt, a new narrative began to take shape. But how could anyone be sure of the truth when every version of events seemed to shimmer with contradictions? Picture the scene. Late night in Shanghai, the streets alive with neon lights, the hum of cars, and the chatter of passers-by. A single paparazzi camera clicks in the darkness, catching a glimpse of Yu Menglong stepping out of a car with a figure no one can quite recognize. The blurred photo circulates within hours, headlines screaming, "Yu Menglong involved?" The airwaves catch fire. Millions of clicks, millions of theories. Was he caught in something criminal, or simply another cruel trick of the camera? The mind reels as more fragments begin to surface. A meeting here, a suspicious silence there. People close to him whisper about phone calls made in the dead of night, messages erased before anyone could read them. Each tiny detail, blown up into a storm by the hungry eyes of the media, paints an increasingly chaotic picture. But the real question lingers in the background. Is any of it true? Or are we simply piecing together illusions, desperate for a story that may not exist at all? What makes this tale even more hypnotic is how reality itself begins to feel staged, like one of the very dramas Yu Menglong once starred in. Fans line up digital clues as though they are detectives in a noir thriller. They analyze the color of his clothes in recent photos, the expression in his eyes during live interviews, the pauses between his words. A nervous glance suddenly becomes a confession. A casual remark transforms into evidence. What should be harmless details suddenly gain the weight of accusations. The beauty and the horror of this moment is how it reveals the power of collective imagination. Yu Menglong is not just a man anymore. He has become a canvas. Everyone projects their fears, hopes, and suspicions onto him. The lines between truth and fiction blur, and the only certainty is uncertainty itself. Imagine the silence in his apartment that night. Curtains drawn, lights dim, a phone buzzing endlessly on the table with messages, half of them from friends, the other half from strangers. Does he pick it up? Does he scroll through the avalanche of speculation about his own life? Or does he sit in the corner, staring at the floor, trying to remember who he was before the storm erupted? The thought alone is chilling. What's more mind-blowing is how every attempt at clarification only deepens the mystery. A statement from his agency says one thing, but within minutes it is dissected and doubted. Too polished, some argue. He didn't write that himself. Then Yu Menglong himself appears in a short video clip, his expression calm, his voice steady, insisting that the truth will come to light. Yet the internet does not calm down. It erupts even more. Was his calmness genuine? Or was it the composure of a man hiding something? Theories spiral out of control. Some claim he was framed by rivals jealous of his rising success. Others whisper about secret dealings, backroom promises gone wrong, and the possibility of betrayal by people within his own circle. And then there are those who lean into the most extreme, conspiracies involving hidden societies, coded messages in his songs, and a narrative so outlandish it sounds like a film script. At this point, Yu Menglong's life no longer belongs to him. It belongs to the crowd, to the audience who watches with rapt attention. Every move he makes is scrutinized. Every silence he keeps is filled with meaning. The suspect is not only on trial in a court of law, if such a case even exists, but in the court of public opinion, which is often harsher and far less forgiving. But here lies the true paradox. How do we know what happened? Do we rely on the grainy photos, the whispered testimonies of anonymous insiders, the bold declarations of tabloids hungry for sales? Or do we trust Yu Menglong himself, a man trapped between his real identity and the endless versions of himself that the world insists on creating? The deeper one dives, the more surreal it becomes. Scenes of his past roles in dramas are replayed on television alongside the news coverage, creating eerie overlaps between fiction and reality. A character he once played who was falsely accused of betrayal suddenly seems prophetic. His on-screen tears merge with the speculation about his off-screen pain. Fans replay old interviews, dissecting every sentence with surgical precision, as though he had been leaving clues for years about this very moment. And maybe that's where the brilliance, or the tragedy, lies. This entire spectacle feels less like a straightforward case and more like an elaborate performance, except no one knows who wrote the script. Is Yu Menglong the victim, the villain, the scapegoat, or simply a man trapped in a story far larger than himself? As the world keeps asking, what happened? The real drama unfolds not in a courtroom or behind closed doors, but in the imaginations of millions. We may never know the truth, because the truth has splintered into 1,000 versions, each one believed passionately by different people. In this sense, Yu Menglong is not just a suspect. He is a mirror reflecting the chaos of a society that craves answers but thrives on mystery. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real story. That in the age of endless information, where fact and rumor dance together under the same spotlight, certainty is the rarest thing of all. Whether Yu Menglong is guilty, innocent, or something far more complex, he has become the center of a tale that will continue to captivate, confuse, and consume. The final scene is still unwritten. Perhaps the truth will emerge one day in a stunning reveal, the kind that silences all doubts. Or perhaps the mystery will linger forever, a haunting echo in the world of entertainment. For now, one thing is undeniable. Yu Menglong's name, once synonymous with beauty and art, now carries a weight of suspicion that may change his destiny forever. And so we return to the question, how do we know what happened? The simple answer is, we don't. We only know the story we choose to believe. And in that choice, we reveal more about ourselves than about Yu Menglong. The story of Yu Menglong being branded as suspect has not faded. It has only grown darker, more twisted, and more entrancing. The first whispers were enough to shake the foundations of his carefully built image, but what followed turned into a firestorm so wild that even those closest to him struggled to know what to believe. The night the rumor first broke, a storm raged across the city. Heavy rain lashed against glass windows while people sat glued to their phones, refreshing feeds, waiting for new updates about Yu Menglong. Somewhere out there, in the dim glow of a hotel room, he was alone, staring at the reflection in the mirror. Was the man looking back at him the same charming star adored by millions? Or had he already become the villain in a story written by others? One scene remains etched in the collective memory of his fans. A video surfaced, shaky and grainy, filmed on what looked like a cell phone. Yu Menglong was seen walking quickly through an underground parking lot. His cap was pulled low, his jacket collar raised, his movements urgent. He didn't look like the serene, polished actor the world adored. He looked like a man trying to escape something. The clip was only 15 seconds long, but it spread like wildfire. Headlines screamed, "What is Yu Menglong hiding?" But here is where the story becomes even more mind-bending. That very same clip was later revealed to be taken months before the scandal, when he was simply rushing to catch a flight. Still, the damage was done. Context no longer mattered. In the court of public opinion, the video was treated as damning proof that he had something to run from. The mind cannot help but imagine what that night must have felt like for him. Imagine the silence broken only by the vibration of his phone. Message after message, call after call, all asking the same question. What did you do? A simple accusation had now transformed into a storm that no denial could calm. Yet, the most surreal part is how his own artistry seemed to foreshadow this moment. Fans began rewatching his old dramas, pulling out scenes where his characters were accused of crimes they didn't commit. He was warning us all along, some whispered. A still shot from one of his shows, where he sat in an interrogation room, became a meme plastered across social media. Fiction merging with reality, turning the actor into his own role. The streets outside his agency told another story. Crowds of supporters held posters, chanting his name, begging the world not to believe the lies. Their voices clashed with critics online who tore into him relentlessly, crafting elaborate theories and timelines about his secret life. It was no longer just about Yu Menglong. It was about the war between those who believed in him and those who didn't. One particular moment stands out like a cinematic twist. A mysterious post appeared on a fan forum, claiming to have evidence that could clear Yu Menglong's name. The post hinted at hidden footage, at documents locked away, at the truth waiting to explode. Within minutes, it was deleted, but not before screenshots spread across every corner of the internet. The suspense only grew. Was there really evidence that could save him, or was it yet another layer of manipulation in this ever-thickening plot? Meanwhile, the silence from Yu Menglong himself became unbearable. Days passed without a word. Every hour of silence felt like a century, fueling more speculation. Then, without warning, a single post appeared on his official account. It was a photo, black and white, showing nothing but a closed door. The caption read, "Behind every door, there is a truth. One day, it will open." The internet erupted. Some saw it as a poetic plea for patience. Others mocked it as a cryptic distraction. But one thing was certain. It added fuel to a fire that was already blazing out of control. What's breathtaking about this saga is not just the uncertainty of what Yu Menglong may or may not have done, but how the world reacts when placed in the absence of truth. Every person watching the story unfold becomes a co-author, writing their own version of events. To some, Yu Menglong is a fallen angel. To others, he is a clever manipulator. And to many, he is simply a man caught in a nightmare that refuses to end. And this brings us back to the haunting question: how do we know what happened? Do we believe the tabloids, the shaky footage, the anonymous insiders? Do we cling to his words? Or do we doubt them because of the very industry he belongs to, where illusion is a craft mastered to perfection? The most chilling scene is imagining Yu Menglong himself watching all of this unfold, perhaps with the lights off, scrolling through endless posts about his own downfall. Every comment, every accusation, every theory becomes a mirror, distorting his own reflection until he barely recognizes himself. Is he the suspect they claim him to be? Or has the world's obsession rewritten his identity completely? This continuation of Yu Menglong's story is not about answers, it's about the hunger for them. It's about the way people build castles of speculation in the air, decorating them with fragments of truth and fiction alike. It's about how quickly admiration can turn into suspicion, and how a single word, suspect, can erase years of trust in the blink of an eye. The mystery still lingers, unbroken, like a fog that refuses to lift. The final truth may still be hidden behind that metaphorical door he posted about. Until it opens, all we are left with is speculation, tension, and the sense that we are watching a real-life drama more captivating than any script he's ever performed. But one thing is clear: Yu Menglong's name will never be the same again. Whether cleared or condemned, he has already become a legend of mystery, a symbol of how fragile truth can be in the digital age. And so, to every viewer following this story, tell us, what do you believe? Was Yu Menglong framed, or was he truly hiding something all along? The debate is yours to continue, the story yours to unravel. If you enjoyed this mind-blowing journey into the mystery surrounding Yu Menglong, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, drop your thoughts in the comments below, and of course, subscribe for more unbelievable stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat.